What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank. This is another episode of Roadie Reactions. And today, I'm going to be checking out the latest music video from Suicide Silence. Now, before we get into this one, I do have to admit something, and I guess it's mildly embarrassing considering I'm a metalhead and I love this style of music, but I'm really not familiar with this band. I don't really know anything about them, and it's crazy because I know who they are. I've heard their name a million times over the years. I've had friends that have worked for this band. I even caught the tail end of their set when they were opening for Ginger like 6 months back or so. But I've never really sat down and just listened to this band. I couldn't name you any of their songs, even though I'm sure I've heard them somewhere. And the craziest part about this, though, is that I'm really familiar with their singer's other band, All Shall Perish, because that was a band that I listened to a ton of over the years. So now that I've said this all out loud, it does seem kind of weird that I've never really gotten into this band. But, you know, there's a lot of bands out there. Sometimes some of them just escape under the radar. But today, we're going to sit here and check it out. Full attention. And I've heard great things about this song and video, so I'm pretty excited about it. Now, from what I've read and what I understand, this is a new single that is probably going to be on an album at a later date. But soon, they're going to be releasing a re-release, the ultimate version of their debut album, The Cleansing. Now, that's going to come out on June 24th, 2022 from Century Media Records. And Century Media was the first label they were ever with when they first started. So now we're full circle. They're back on Century Media releasing the ultimate edition of that CD. It's got live songs. It's got tracks people have never heard before. So if you're interested in supporting the band directly, I'll throw links in the description where you can go pre-order and check out the merchandise that they have available for that ultimate edition. But since I really don't know anything else, I don't really have much else to say. So let's just jump into this video. I will link the original music video in the description below. And today, I'm going to be checking out Suicide Silence, and for the very first time, watching their brand new music video for their song, Thinking in Tongues. Let's go! You know what my first gut off the bat thing that I noticed that I really like about this? The mix. It doesn't sound super polished. And there are a lot of times where I would kind of be like, yeah, it could have been done a little better. But for this style of music, I like how raw this sounds. I really like the rawness of this. Even a lot of the tones on some of the instruments, like specifically on the drums, I've noticed when the blast beats are going on, like the kicks and snares, nothing really sounds like triggered or brushed up in like post-production and stuff. It sounds very raw and natural, and I'm really a fan of that. So far, this is exactly what I was expecting from this band. You know, like I said, I've probably heard their stuff in passing before, but yeah, we're just f***ing deathcore. Let's go. I'm loving the visuals on this video, especially starting to see like kind of exorcist looking demon girl coming in and stuff. The makeup looks really good on it, man. I love the overall aesthetic of this video, man. Like, for those of you that are familiar with this channel, you know, as a gearhead and as a guitar tech and a roadie, like, I love seeing the bands, man. I have nothing wrong with a good story video, but I like to see the bands and all the gear that they're using because I like to nerd out over that stuff. And if it's something I don't know, I learn something new. So let's talk about gear. So their drummer, I'm really not getting a lot of terribly good looks on everything. That's probably going to be stuff I'm going to have to look up. However, from what I've seen online and what I've read, I'm pretty sure that that's not Alex, their drummer that just left the band. I can't remember his name, but I know this is a guy that has been doing stuff with the band lately, and I've got to assume he's probably going to be a permanent member of the band if he's not already. But I do know that from what I read on a press release that Alex, their old drummer, did record what you're hearing. I think that's just the new drummer or the touring drummer for this video. So I'll look up what he's using and try and get some more information, drop it in the facts, stuff like that. Guitar wise, one of them is simple. One of them is actually really fun. So one of the guitar players is absolutely using a Jackson Rhodes. Now, I don't know exactly what model that is. I'll probably have to look it up because there are so many different models of some of these guitars, and unless there's something really standing out, sometimes it's hard to get the exact model down. But the Rhodes, of course, is the signature model of the late Randy Rhodes, which is one of the most copied guitar designs you see of any company out there. The other guitar player, though, this is super fun. So he's playing a Fender, which is wild because I don't really see Fender in this style of music a lot. But it's definitely a 7-string, so it's a custom. You're not really going to find a Fender Stratocaster 7-string on the wall at Guitar Center or anything like that. And it definitely looks like they've swapped out the pickups. I can't get a perfect look, but it looks like either EMGs or like Fishman, you know, Fluence modern humbuckers. I'd probably say EMG, but considering all of that, the 7-string, the EMGs, all that, that's probably a custom shop, which means he's probably endorsed by Fender, which is wild because, again, you don't see many bands in this style of music that are rocking Fender. Now, their bass player is rocking something we see all the time in metal, an ESP. He's using an F series, also known as the Forest series. Now, the F series is a solid bass. The electronics and everything in it are really good. It sounds great. It plays great. But I don't see too many people using them. Most notably, we see Per, the bass player for Sabaton, using F series. And I've seen him here and there, but with a band like this, again, I've got to assume bass player is probably an ESP endorsed artist. Actually, probably everybody in this band is endorsed by the gear that they're using, just given the size of the band in the genre they're in. And then there's something very nostalgic and comfortable feeling about the vocals because, like I've said, I've listened to Eddie's other band, All Shall Perish, so much. So these vocals I'm very used to just from hearing his other band. So for me, I'm loving this, man. There's something familiar about it that I absolutely love. And yeah, let's just keep going. Oh, that fucking costume is great. That vocal layering was sick as f***. Oh, f***. like where all the instruments dropped out except for the bass there. That was cool. Well, they didn't necessarily drop out. There was just some like scraping and harmonic work going on. I want to hear it again. Sorry. That's sick sounding. Dude, there is so much about that I loved. I actually just noticed at the end too, where I was talking about how the guitars were doing the scraping and the harmonics and stuff. This is so weird with the new camera. Instead of looking at the lens, I keep looking at the fucking screen. I liked the panning on the guitars in those parts where one was hard left, the other one was hard right. I love mixing like that. This was solid, man. Let's go talk more about it. All right, so my first thoughts about that song as a whole, it was very OG, old school deathcore sounding, man. With a lot of the newer bands that are out right now, we're getting more of a modernized deathcore sound. This sounded like it was straight out of like the mid-2000s, and I loved it. And even the mixing on the song had that raw, old school sound to it, man. And it's really cool. I'm a really big fan of the way that they mixed this and got the tones on everything and delivered it. It's just super sick, man. Yeah, sticking to the audio production of it, I'm a big fan all around. There was nothing on that I heard that I disliked. I liked how natural and real a lot of the tones on everything were. And there were specific parts that I really liked as well. There was a snare roll at the end there that I thought was just really cool and really well fit in. And then the part where the guitars started doing the harmonics and the scraping and you just heard like the bass and the drum beat going. I thought that was just a really cool songwriting touch, man. I really, really enjoyed that. For the video itself, again, as I said, I love performance videos from bands. I get to see how they move with their music, how they interact with the feeling of the parts. I get to see their gear and I nerd out over that because that's kind of my thing. But I do like that there was a little bit of other imagery and story kind of thrown in there, man. And the costumes and the makeup that they had on the extras looked sick, man. Gave you a very kind of uncomfortable feel at a couple points when you first got the introduction of those characters. And it was really cool, man. And I dig it. Really fits with the theme of the actual song and the song title and stuff too. But man, this is super cool. This is one of those moments on this channel where I'm like, damn, another band that I just slept on. And now I got to go back and check out all of their other stuff, which is going to be kind of a trip because this band very well may be something that I really like and am kicking myself later that I wasn't listening to these guys sooner. Just as a reminder to all of you that are watching, the Ultimate Edition of their debut album, The Cleansing, well, it's not going to be their debut album. It's a re-release of their debut album. That's going to come out on June 24th, 2022 from Century Media Records. Pre-order links will be in the description of this video, and these guys are on tour right now. So if you're wanting to go see them live, it's a monster package, man.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's out there, and I'll throw an image up here so you can check it out. You can go to their socials and check out all the dates and stuff. I do think it's getting towards the end, but I've seen a lot of people online talk about how awesome this current tour has been. So I enjoyed it, man. I hope you guys did too. If you're new to the channel, feel free to click subscribe. I release new stuff all the time. If you enjoyed this video, you can like the video, you can share the video, you can do whatever you want with the video. But most importantly, thank you for taking the time to watch it. I'm on a ton of different social media. I have a Discord server a lot of us hang on. I stream on Twitch from time to time. So if anybody's interested in any of that stuff, I'll throw links in the description below. My handle on everything social media is @TankTheTech. Thank you so very much for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.